Hello everyone, what's up? It's Master Ventus Warner here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Kingdom Hearts 3 screenshot leaks that have come out around the time of December. Pretty much the reason that I could not get this video done earlier than what I wanted is mainly because there were just things that I was doing in life that I needed to do, so and it's better late than never. And I mean, it's the eve of D23, so what better time than now, on the last day, to do it. So for these screenshots, I am going to talk about them a little bit in depth. I'm not going to spend too much time because I don't want to make a long video. I will go into kind of detail for 3 different topics, just in 3 different things. And this will be spoilers, so if you have not seen this or you want to be blind to this, if these end up being real, it's still not confirmed to be real. I would say dip out. Pretty much do not watch this video because I will be spoiling a little bit. I've already seen this, and honestly, everybody's covered it, so if you haven't been spoiled already, then Godspeed. But forever hold your peace if you do not want to be spoiled and you want to be completely blind if this ends up being true. But without further ado, let's get on with it. And I'm basically going to start with the first 2 screenshots that came out for this world, which was for Monsters, Inc. for Kingdom Hearts 3. Again, still not confirmed if this is going to be a legitimate world or if this was just made by some random person, which kind of it's kind of a hard thing to think about, being that there's so much effort going into this that it really just poses that this is really, really true, which I think it is. I think that these are legitimate now, especially with all the screenshots we've gotten. There's just way too much effort. But with the first 2, before the others, my opinions about them at the time, I was very 50-50 with them, mainly due to the fact that it could show potential to be real, and then there were some things that you could argue that could have been faked. A lot of people that pointed out that, oh, it has to be fake because the HUD isn't up to par to Sordon and Goofy's designs for monsters. Well, really, in the development side of things, I really don't see a HUD being updated to right now standards. Really, that doesn't really make any sense, because really all HUD is just a displayment of health, magic, and whatever, especially for an RPG. And really, a HUD is pretty much like voice acting to me. That comes second nature to a much later part of the development. It's just an icon. Really, if they don't have it done, then they don't have it done. They use what they have available. It makes sense like that. And it even has, Donald and Goofy's portrait even have a kanji symbol, which I've come to understand that means temporary. Of course, that could add to its validity, but of course people have stated, well, they could have just easily have placed it on there to make it seem real. Again, that's very true, but it still doesn't say that, oh, the HUD's not up to par, so this is all fake. Don't really believe that, in my honest opinion. Again, this all looks in-engine. It doesn't look photoshopped. It doesn't look like that somebody just dragged models into this and just went willy-nilly. I've did a bit of digging. I've done a little bit of research trying to find anything that could link back to these things, whether it be images of models or just anything. If I could find it, oh, maybe it could have been photoshopped from this or that, or it could have just been a community area where somebody made a fan-made model or something like that. Just basically trying to figure out if anybody could fake this like that, and ultimately I came up short. I could not find anything. Nothing to this degree. I've looked a bit and I couldn't really find anything, and everything looks in-engine. From what people say that use the Unreal Engine 4, say that the stats on here all check out. And I've not worked on the Unreal 4 engine. Uh, I've worked with Unity, but I have not worked on the Unreal Engine because my computer can't handle it. But but from people that use it, they say that this stuff checks out. Um, Again, there was really nothing. Of course, Sully does look off a little bit. Of course, Sora and Goofy do look a little off, and that they don't look like the lighting's hitting right. But again, this is the information that came out a little bit later was that that these are in development builds of 2015, which does add up because around that time Sora wasn't looking quite right around 2015. In the trailers he looked very rubbery, plasticky kind of look, and the lighting just wasn't working for him at that time. So that does check out. That does work for to pretty much to prove that this could be real. So Sully could not be utilizing the lighting that they have worked out, and even in bold red that they have that it's shown in English. I'm gonna bring it up just for myself to find the image. Yeah, lighting needs to be rebuilt to unbuilt objects. So it could be that there are just objects in that they could have just been placed into the game, and the system is telling them, hey, the system's not recognizing these characters because they're not built around it for the lighting. But all in all, the two first screenshots, I was very, very hesitant. I was pretty much saying to a few people, like, hey, this could be real, but I do see why some people could say that it could be faked. But outside of, I've seen enough faked images, leaks, and rumors, but I've never seen something like this. I've never seen it go this far and this detailed, even with the first two. But those are my thoughts and opinions with that. And then we got more. And can I just say how ironic that we have 13 screenshots of this? Just saying. One thing that was pointed out was Boo, of course from Monsters Inc. She is the little girl in the film. And some people were pointing, and I've seen it get pointed out that that it could be fake because if it was following the film's story, then it could be fake because for some weird reason, I think I was watching a video. And it was pretty much saying that Pixar's idea for their worlds were going to be like new original stories and was not going to use the original films, which I can say I've looked at almost every article that I could find of the time of D23, and during the actual event when they showed Toy Story, and nothing was brought up about that. They never said that any Pixar worlds that they were going to use, or if they were ever going to use Pixar, that it had to have been a new story, strictly, and that they could never use the movie properties like that. Which, honestly, I think that would be a stupid decision on Pixar's part if they were just going to restrict them to, oh yeah, we only want new stories, we don't want the actual original stories. Like, to me that doesn't make any sense, because, I mean, Disney allowed it, so why doesn't Pixar, you know? But honestly, if people still want to run with the idea that, oh, Boo could ultimately makes this fake, well, how about this? It could be that this is not following the movie story. It could be actually following something similar to Big Hero 6. It could be that this could be a sequel to the original Monsters Inc. Because at the end of the film, Boo goes back to back home. Sully, of course, ultimately sees her door shredded. Mike ends up fixing the door for him, and he walks through it, sees Boo, smiles, the movie ends. So it could be that the game could take place with this world having to be sometime later after those events, much like how Big Hero 6 takes place after the first movie, which I think that could very much work. And And I forgot to say, with the first two screenshots, um, we actually do see unversed. And I'm not going to pay really much attention to the big unversed boss-looking character, or enemy, I shouldn't really say character, but these floods, I have to say, these floods are on par to what I would suspect the Kingdom shader to use and the Unreal Engine 4. I could see this, like, as soon as I saw these, I was like, if somebody had faked this, they had to have done a damn good job at these floods. Like, these are super official to me. Like, there's no other way I would ever see a flood more perfectly done than this. Just my opinion, but there's just no way in my mind that they would look any different or look any better than that. The next screenshot that I'm going to look at is, of course, the one that's with the giant red X. Lighting needs to be rebuilt. I already touched upon that. I remember seeing somebody said that you couldn't really see Sully and Mike anywhere. You actually see them in kind of in the background a little bit. It's a little hard to make out, and I think Boo is standing right next to Sully because I see a little pink next to Sully's foot. So could be another safe point area that it's kind of a safe haven, usually like in typical Kingdom Hearts games, where they tend to walk around like in KH2. I do see a save in the background, so nothing really much there. Kind of touched upon that. One thing that I think this made it kind of superficial, like made it official to me, especially, is the screenshots of the factory kind of area with the, God, I can't remember the name of the, yellow suit guys from the film. I'm trying to remember the names, what they were called. FCA, I think that's what they were called. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's the one where you see the FCA standing up high. Looks like about to shoot water down to cool out the fire, with Sully looking like he's about ready to scare some flame cores. And I have to say, in these screenshots where it's this area, these flame cores are they're exactly like 0.2. They're exactly like the 0.2 flame cores, and I've only found one image of a flame core on Google Images that I actually use, but that's about it. And people that data mine 0.2 have gone to say that it's very, very hard to data mine the game because it's very complex. And so for any standard person to come up and pretty much show you a flame core that's on par to 0.2, especially since that 0.2 is very hard to crack in terms of data mining to get the model, and being that the colors are exactly the same, the colors being the same, they look like that they're acting the same way as in the 0.2. I mean, it just, I would say the models to me is really what sells it for me. Because it is just, to me, in my opinion, it is very, very hard to nail down models, especially if you're trying to replicate it. There has been one argument that I've encountered, is like, well, with technology nowadays, you could do anything. You can make anything look authentic. Well, that's true and that's false. Gaming, I think, falls into a different category with that, because it's just hard to 3D model something, just in general. And I've come to experience that myself. I've done a bit of 3D modeling, and it is not easy. It's time consuming. It's a lot of work to do, and that's why I'm saying that this could lead to it being real, is because there's so much effort going into this. For this to just end up being fake, I have to pat this person on the back, and they definitely have a future in working on games if this ends up being fake, but I don't think it is. I think that they're real. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. The last thing I'll talk about is the screenshot that is pretty much that says shader complexity. And I actually did a bit of digging for this one because I actually wanted to know a little bit more about this. From what I've gathered, is that this pretty much is kind of performance testing. Is that it's pretty much showing you how intense the particles and shaders are reacting in the game and showing you how much performance it's doing. So basically green being like mellow, being alright, red being kind of like intense, kind of bad intense, and pink to white is kind of like super intense and it's so overpowering. So yeah, I want to do a bit of digging for that, and there's a bar at the bottom, which I actually did find again while doing a bit of digging, which again, I don't think that it's posted in, but it is something that you would also see while dealing with this. So that's all I really have to say. Again, I don't want to make a long video, but 16 minutes is better than... This is like a second time I've done this, so the last time it was like 38, so yeah, I'm not editing a 38-minute video. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to cut it here. Short, sweet, to the point. I really don't want to take too much time with this. All I'm going to say is that the modeling in the screenshots, the animations, the particle effects, just everything about this screams real, to me at least. Yeah, the HUD isn't up to date. There's definitely things you could point out, like, oh, the lighting looks weird, or that these characters look weird. But again, if this is real, these are development builds, and it's bound to look like that. If it was so high quality to the point where it looked like it was about to come out in a trailer, then that's where I would say, okay, this looks a little too clean, unless the person says, oh, this was being a development build of 2017, like it was just recently done. So then that would kind of make it okay, or just make me raise my eyebrows, like, all right, I can kind of believe that. But yeah, that's all in all what I have to say. Also, Don and Goofy, they look creepy. It suits the world, especially Goofy. He's nightmare fueling. But that's it. That's all I have to really say. Try to be short, sweet, to the point. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think they're real? Do you think they're fake? Oh, I guess one thing I could say lastly, because I'm forgetting about this. One thing that kind of helps solidify this is that Cage 13, when they posted out about addressing Kingdom Hearts 3 screenshot leaks and also a partial world list leak, which I'll probably cover in a different video after D23, because I don't have the time for it right now. Pretty much it goes on to say that at this point, on December 15th of 2017, user Russellman posted two screenshots of an alleged world in Kingdom Hearts 3 sourced to a Square Enix FTP server. Following this, other screenshots of the same world surfaced on Imager on December 23rd, 2017. I need to slow down because I'm speaking too fast. Since then, more Kingdom Hearts 3 developers' content was made publicly downloadable from the server, then quickly was taken down, but it is possible to see the file names. Okay, that's about the partial world list. I'll talk about that later. But the part I wanted to say right here now, and I'll probably even say it again in that other video, is upon investigating the leaks, Cage13.com has reason to believe these are legitimate. And Cage 13 doesn't mess around. So when they say that to me says, yeah, these could be real. And of course, they've stated, however, due to ethical and copyright issues, we have decided to not report on them in detail any further. So yeah, that's all I wanted to put out. I think they're real. What do you guys think? Be sure to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe for more Kingdom Hearts content. Until the next video, I am Master Francis Wanderer, signing out till next time. See you everybody. Have an awesome day.